So first thing we're going to do on this page is we're going to take a look at the Tamunot that the Rashash has given us. Starts out at the top of the page, just looking at you have a shilov chitzoni of Avaya Ekia. Then he shows us the oros, which are the Ekia and the Havaya, which is the makif and the panimi, and then they are wrapped, as I would say, in these mochim. These are the mochim, which are asmab. Plus, what exactly this adds to it, I'm just concluding that it must be the outer part of it, something like that, like the Kaylee type or something similar to that. I'm not sure. Maybe somewhere along the line we'll get a definition. But this is just the milui of Av Saguma. Then at the bottom, he comes to this piece here where he says this is a rayo plus the letters. So he counted up. It comes a gematria of rayo, and then you add 12 onto it. Let's get the what the Rashash actually writes on the top. So he said, Barachas al MIKRAH MEGILA, this is where we're at, right? The Hamshech Shefach Mezivuk Hitzoni. So there we see that right below it is the Zivuk Hitzonius. And this is where they always gets complicated, the Abba Ve'ima Ve'yaso. So this is like a combined Bina type of deal. And he's going to bring down Gimel Mobs, Miluehem. So what's pshat? I guess I said this wrong. These are the Pashat, the Mole, and the Mole. The Mole is what you saw. I said it wrong. Plus the Miloyim. Now, what this actually, I know that these are 342s. What do we know about 42? We know about 42 is the power of moving up. So as this shefa is coming from the word baruch, at the same time that it's coming, it's also bringing with it these mobs. I think that they're, what I know about mob is just threw that in, is that it's for the purpose of bringing it back up, but it's like embedded in it as it goes. That's what it looks like to me. Gam Yakavin with the word baruch, which is gematria rayo plus 12. So 216 plus 12 osius v'hakolel, adding on the kolel. V'chavav the shloshach of avayas the yud gimel hivarti. And what are we thinking about? That the hivarti is really the start that I think is the top of the flow of the light that's coming from the word baruch. It's coming off of there. So you say you have the Yud Gimel Chivarti, which is really 12 plus 1, which is a kolel. And then he said, Yud Gimel Nimim, and bundles of hair, Keneged Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna, because that could correspond also as you're moving down. Really, I'm not sure the order or why it is, but in other words, we got a bunch of 13s here. So he says, he shows it to us. He says, on the word Baruch, 228. We can get the word out of that. We can get Rayo, that's 216, plus the letters, plus 12. That is the 12 letters of the 3 Havayas. And this brings you to that. Let's look. I have this a little bit offline here. Let me get this back up where I can see it. Okay, so we have a number Kaf Gimel. Kaf Gimel says, Gam Yakavin Baruch Gematria Rayo plus 12. What are the 12 letters of a Yud Beis Osius v'Hakolel? The Gavana here, the Shloshach of Avayas, the Yud Gimel Hivartiv, Yud Gimel Nimin, Mekaneged Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna. So this is all, my thinking, it's all going downwards. So this is the floor downwards. Inside of the floor downwards, we said that these are 342s up here, plus these letters. So he says, Agam Purim, who. So he said, who yisod the Abba Bokea umeri b'chutz. That's what happens on Purim. A commotion is bar b'arucha. We talked about it. Me'irin gimel shemus avaya shall nai. So now it reveals the gimel shemus of the nai, the Abba, of the nai, the Abba. Gimel shemus havaya, 3 havayas, which represents the nai of Abba. Each one of them is a nai, is a havaya. The Abba, V'kan boim lakavein al shorshem makorim shel gimel shemus avaya elu. So it says where they come from. So the first they came from the whiteness on the head. They moved into the Neiman. To the Neiman, we moved into the Dikna, all 13s. So he says Meshlosh Havayos shel Hivarti Neiman v'Dikna shel Erikanpen. So he just spells it out. Veneer Mizucha B'Teva Baruch Shahu Gematria Rakach, which is 228. So we're taking this word, so all of this are references into that name. V'Kola B'Socha Gematria Ryo in Yud Bey, so he adds within it, there's also this. Now, okay, so he has another way to get to 228. Veneer Mezbezecha B'Gimel Shem B'Savayim B'Milui, B'Milui Yudin, that's 3 times 72 is going to get you to 216. Olav Gematria Ryo. V'chayud beis Yisraelim. Now there is 12 others that are in addition to that. Romazim al yud beis osish yesh begimel shemus avaya b'shutam. And then you also have the kola, which we've learned this before. Shel milas baruch romez al yud gimel tikuni dekna. Okay, so that's that one. So moving to the next page, now we have another what I call a magic word, and you're going to say the word ATAH. So ATAH, let's just look at the Tamunot on the page and see what we can get out of them. So first of all, it has the shil of, this is a shil of panimi. So move from the shil of chitzon. So indicating, I don't know, at least at this part, that the chitzon comes first. So he says this is shil of chitzon, panimi rather. And then he shows you the mochin. So these are mochin that are generated. Included in it, so let's look at it like this. The first one is Av, then to go to the left is Sag, and then is Ma on a Ben as we're moving down. And then in the middle, he has what? He has just by itself Chamisha Chesadim. Now the Chesadim come from the Abadika side. So he says, so we have 5 Chesadim here. Then we move over to the Imadika side. And the Imadik, in other words, we have Shefa coming into Das from Abba. We have Shefa coming into Das from Ima. That's and later on, or in other places, he says this is Ma'u, also known as Ma'u Ben, I think. And we see Kasa, we see Kone, and in the middle, he shows us Kamak. Then we go down a little bit more, and so since we're dealing with the Imadika side, then we're going to be dealing with the Mochin on the left side of Das, which is going to be the Chemesha Gavuros. And then the Chemesha Gavuros, all of this is fitting and somehow inside of each other. It's going to be a Kasa, Kane, and Kamag written like this, right, left, center. Okay, so I guess since we're doing that, we have, okay, let's finish the page then. He says, Mezivug Panimi the Abba Ve'ima, because we said that, right? It's a zivug, and we see it, he shows it right below it. Yamshech Asmab v'chamesh chasadim v'ava v'yasas. So from the right side, from the Abadika side, you're going to have, this is what is going to be coming down. And we know that it's coming from a Yichud Panimi. Then it's going to go to the Yisod HaPanimi, and we're dealing with Panimius, the Imach B'Tavuna, Shabo Tiferes Netzach and Hod, that have within it these 3. The Nai is, it's not actually it's the Tana that's in it. Why he brought that in, I don't have an answer, but he shows it to us as the Kama, the Kasa rather, and then the Kana, and then the Kamak. These are the Mochin that are coming from Ima and Tavuna. And then once again, we're going to have the Umisham Yamshech Akol the Malchus. We're going to bring the whole into Malchus. Which Malchus? The Malchus, the Ima to Tavuna. It's going to be down at the bottom of Malchus Tavuna. Shabo Tiferes Netzach Hod. There you're going to see that there's a Tiferes Netzach and Hod, v'chamisha Gavuros, and the 5 Gavuros. So I guess the meaning that when he was saying the Malchus, the Ima, what's in the Malchus of Ima is the flow that came from up above. He's talking about it as the Nai, each one of the Nai. And then at the bottom, he shows us once again, as we saw before, is Kasa, Kana, and Kamak. Let's go to to the next page. So the next page, and so like I say, I'm only just trying to reveal what's on the page, because where he got it and why he does it, I guess you could figure that out from looking at it over and over again as you're bringing the shefa down from here. This is a yichud panimi. So then he shows the oros. That's what the two havayas with the nikud of patach, which is chochma, and then he shows you the keser, and then chochma is going to be sag, and then he's going to spells it out. Yud, excuse me, it's going to be the pasha, the mole, and the mole. So finished off by the milui only. So I don't have an explanation like that, like I said, but I said I think it's the outside part, but I'm not sure. It would be the outside part. But at any rate, let's go to, so that came to, and it's going to go to, then we're going to have the one, we're going to have the number 52, and then we're going to have also the number 151. He shows it be Yesod Leah. This is found in the Yesod of Leah. He said Yud K, and then he has a Kana, and then he has not a Kana, excuse me, he has a Ben and a Kana. So he said be Yesod Rachel. So there's a difference there, slight difference. They're exactly the same. Okay, so that's what I have in the Tamuna. Let's read the words that he used. We're getting close to the end of the time. Yikavin the Hamshek Mab Da'av. That's what we have here. Umiluyev in the chi. This is where it gets complicated. You're up at the top of the chaya, and when I get to these and they're complicated, I read them backwards. Now, he says it's the ruach inside of the naranchi. No, inside of the ruach of naranchi. You look at it, there's a ruach of that ruach. There's, in other words, a naranchi, the naranchi. And then, but they're coming from the light, which is called chaya, because chaya also has a naranchi. So look in that naranchi and you'll find the ruach, and then look in that naranchi and you'll find the ruach. Now, the only thing that I could say about ruach, that he uses a lot, either that or he uses the word chagat. He said the only thing I could say about it is refers to zeranpin. It relates to chagat. But exactly, so we're dealing with katnus here. And he shows us, I think we we just went through this. He went through that this is the pasha, the mole, and the mole, plus the milui, just the milui by itself. Where is it going? It's going to the kachav, that is the top part. The chachan, the chagat. So here we go, of the right line. So he's saying like this over and over again, that chagat, or these things, can be partsufim. I'm so confused a little bit about the oros when he says oros inside of oros, like chaya, the ruach, that phrase is, okay, you're dealing with a high level there, I guess. The koch of the hachan, the hagat, the ma'u, ben, the ma, the zun. So got to go back to that again. We're going to go to the top part of the right line of chagat as a partziv. What's in chagat? Chagat has a ma'u and a ben in it. What does the ma and the ben come from? It comes from the ma the zun. So we're dealing on the right side. That's all the right side. All of this is coming like that. Gam yakavein ato. So this word ato, shuhu misbar ben v'kona. Your ato is a gematria of, you put ben and kona together, which is 151 and 52. It comes at 203. V'kona be yisod of Leah. So this is the yisod of Leah. Now, I guess you're moving down. I'm not sure. Uben v'kona be yisod the Rachel. I'm moving further down. So he says he shows you the ben and the kona, the ben and the kona. So each one is for the yisod of Rachel, Leah rather, and one is yisod of Rachel. The little blurb at the bottom, we can finish up with this, or over time a little bit, just a little bit. He says, Gam yikaben ATAH shuhu misbar ben v'kona be yisod the Leah, uben v'kona be yisod the Rachel. You want to know what's inside of them? These letters are inside of them. Shemos elu ramazim al yisod the nook. So these names really refer to the yisod of the nook. There's two nukvos, He said the Nook Shenikra Bear, which is all called Bear, which is a Gematria 203, which you add 152 and 151. That's what it is. Gematria Shel Shem Shnei Hemos Elu. Lakomo Shenizbar B'Dibra Haravzal Bekama Bekomos. Really, and he says Ayin Shar Gravanos Daf Ayin Dalad Amad Dalad. That's it for today. Thanks for making the time.